My name's Janet Hoek and I'm the co-director of Aspire 2025, which is one of the University of Otago's research themes. Well, the study that we undertook looked at the tobacco industry's interest in young women. They've had a long-standing interest in trying to attract more women to smoking, so we were really interested in developing measures that might make smoking a much less appealing behaviour to this group. The project aimed to look at cigarette sticks themselves. Now, we've spent quite a lot of time looking at tobacco advertising, we've looked at packaging, we've looked at the way in which tobacco is supplied to young people, but not many people have actually looked at the marketing of the product itself. So cigarette sticks are the actual object of consumption, so we wanted to look at whether there were ways we could redesign those so that they were much less appealing. Well, the study was undertaken by an honours student of mine, Cherie Robertson, and we undertook a two-phase study. So first of all, we recruited some young women who were both daily and intermittent smokers, and we showed them pictures of current cigarette sticks, and we'd also made some sticks that had quite different colours to those that are traditionally available. And we looked at the connotations that they generated, then we used those findings to develop what we call some dissuasive sticks, so some sticks that use the colours and the tips that the women in our initial interviews had found particularly unappealing. Then we recruited a new sample and we tested their reactions to those newly designed images. I think the first finding was just how important sticks are to young women. So the ones that we had developed, they talked about using cigarette sticks as what we call objects of conspicuous consumption. So they knew that when they were smoking, their stick was on display, so it was really quite important to them how that stick looked. And in particular, sticks that were white and clean looking, that was a metaphor that came up repeatedly, they were very important attributes. So first of all, conspicuous consumption was an important theme that emerged. Then the second theme that we looked at was really how the unattractively coloured sticks removed those connotations of acceptability. So from something that was clean and important, the stick became something that was dirty, that elicited all sorts of quite unpleasant connotations. And then when we explored those further, we recognised that many young women feel extraordinary dissonance about smoking. So on the one hand, they're addicted, but on the other hand, they dislike the behaviour, they see it as dirty, they recognise that increasingly it's not socially acceptable, and the dissuasive sticks really dismantled the whole social facade that they had tried to construct to make their smoking acceptable both to themselves and to those around them. Well, this initial phase was targeted at women, but since completing that study we've moved on to some more experimental work, and we've used a wider population sample of young men and young women. And interestingly, we're finding quite similar findings from that study, although in that one we tested not only unattractively coloured sticks but also sticks that had warning messages printed on them. And one of those messages, which showed the 15 minutes of life lost per stick consumed, that had a very powerful effect irrespective of gender. Well, I guess the main surprise was just how powerful the stick itself can be as a stimulus. So we think that with plain packaging about to be introduced, there is a real opportunity for New Zealand policymakers to take that one step further, recognise that the packet is the object of display, but that the stick itself is the object of consumption, and take the opportunity to make that dissuasive as well. Well, the Aspire 2025 collaboration, of course, is engaged in a raft of different studies. So our hope, of course, is that the work that we're undertaking is going to inform policy measures that will make a smoke-free Aotearoa New Zealand by 2025 a reality.